Greetings everybody. I welcome you to our series about the Fulfillment Tools solution, where we will introduce you to the Fulfillment Tools software piece by piece. My name is Andreas Runschke and I'm the solution consultant at Fulfillment Tools, and today let's revisit our distributed order management system one more time. Third time's the charm, so let's have another look at our distributed order management system. We already talked about the general functionality of the DOMS and took a look into routing rules creation with our DOMS toolkit. Today we want to have a look at the more advanced configurations that typically only comes into play if there are issues with the following process. What happens if the ordered items aren't available in the selected location, or the employee at the location can't start the picking for whatever reason? For these cases, Fulfillment Tools also offers built-in solutions through advanced settings in the DOMS configuration. And today we want to take a look at exactly those. So let's have a quick look at the advanced DOMS configuration settings together. And you see I opened the back office of Fulfillment Tools already, and you will find those configurations here on the DOMS configuration tab. We go there and we can see the first two settings, the order split and the routing rules. We already covered that in a previous video about the DOMS toolkit or the general DOMS functionality. If you're interested in those two functionalities, please have a look at those a little bit older videos. What we want to talk about today are the more advanced settings that we have here. So for example, this one, which is called the reroute decision in case of a short pick. So when is that important? This can happen if there is an order sent to a location, the picker is going out on the floor, is picking all the items, everything should be fine, but then he figures out that maybe one t-shirt or hoodie that was ordered is not in the store anymore. It should be there, the inventory system says yes, it's there, maybe it is somewhere, but the picker can't find that. So on his app, he would still close the picking process with all the items that he picked. He would just say, okay, this item I didn't pick. And this is what we call a short pick. So it's a little bit full, a little bit short. So, and then this system here, the app will talk to the backend systems and ask, is there a configuration for that? So if there is no configuration activated, he would just proceed with that, and then we send an update and you could do a cancel message for that one item or something like that. But in this case, we want to handle that exception. So we activated this here for the shipping task. So if there is an order for shipment, the rerouting is active. And you have two possibilities of doing that. So you could either reroute it or you can do an order split. What's the difference? Reroute would mean there is a message going out to the picker that says to him, please, all the items you already collected, bring them back to the shelves and forget about this task, because we will take the whole task with all the items and reroute it through the whole routing system, and then of course send it to another location and they will fulfill it totally fine. But you could also say, okay, you picked already a lot of items, please proceed with those, do the packing, do the sending to the customer, this is fine. We will just take the items that you don't had, so you couldn't pick them. We will split them from the original order, and only this part will get back to the routing system and will be assigned to another location that then will only fulfill this part of the order. Both is possible, and of course if you wanted to go with an order split, you also need to activate the order split above, and you need to say them that this is allowed. We also allow this in the case of a click and collect order, but of course there's a little difference here because we will not change the store. So the customer picked the store when choosing the click and collect, and we will not tell him like, okay, now you need to go to a different store. That's not happening. What we do here is we would advise another store or another location, could be a warehouse as well, to send the missing items to the click and collect store that has been chosen. So everything that's there will be collected, but the missing items will be sent there so they can prepare the collect order for their customer. But we will not switch the pickup location, of course. Let's have a look at the next one. This is a very easy one. We will see that on the UI afterwards. You can also reroute such tasks manually. So if I activate that, we will have some buttons to do a manual reroute. We will see that, like I said, in the UI in just a minute. Let's look at the last point that we want to talk about today, and that's the reroute a task in case of an inactivity. And you see this is as well split it in 3 sections. So we have rerouting for inactivity for shipping tasks. We have the reroute after inactivity for same-day tasks. So you can handle those separately, because maybe in same-day tasks, speed is a little bit more of a matter. And we also have the reroute after inactivity for click and collect tasks. Same applies here. We don't change the pickup location. We just send the order to another store to send the missing items or the items of this order to the pickup store then. But here's a little bit more that you can set up. So you could say this is active, for example. So if there is a certain time that has been passed since anybody did anything with that order, then we will take this away from the store or from this location and give it back to the routing system, and they will find another location that can fulfill that to meet your SLAs with your customers, for example. The first thing that you can set up here is the consider time span. So he will only look at orders that come in the last 48 hours, for example, in my case. And then what is the time span that from incoming of that order to nobody did anything? I'm very, very bad. Yeah, like 5 minutes. If nobody does anything in 5 minutes, you get it taken away. That's a little bit harsh. It was for testing purposes. So let's say, for example, if in 5 hours after the order came to the location, nothing happens, nobody started the pick job, nobody started picking, then now the system would take away this order from this location, put it back into the routing system, and the routing system would decide what other location would be best to fulfill that. Therefore, this is also the reason why the same-day tasks here are splitted, because here time is much more crucial. So you don't want to wait for like 5 hours. You would say like, okay, I have different SLAs with my employees for same-day tasks. So they need to get at those at least an hour after they came in. It could be even quicker. You could also say like at least 30 minutes after they came in, they need to start the picking, or we can't fulfill our promise to the customer. But the behavior will be exactly the same. I wait for this time span to pass, and after that passed, the system will take this order and put it back into the routing system and find another location to fulfill that. So you can meet the service level agreements that you have with your customers. And as promised, let's have a look at that on a UI base here on the order side. So I have prepared some orders to have a deeper look into that. For example, we have the shortpick here. Let's open that up. And here you see there was the original order that went to the distribution center in Frankfurt. This was the suitcase, and it was the sunglasses. And you can also see only the suitcase was available. The sunglasses couldn't be picked. They are here. We have a 0 pick, a short pick. But he continued with, because we had this order split activated, he continued to send the suitcase from Frankfurt to the customer. But he separated the sunglasses, put them back into the routing system, and the routing system decided to put them into Cologne. You can also see that in the order history quite well. So you see here the order was created. You see that there has been a routing has been done. All the decisions were checked, and then it was sent to Frankfurt. Frankfurt were only possible to deliver one of the 2 items, so that led to another routing with exact the same decision making, just minus the distribution center in Frankfurt. And then the next best location was Cologne to fulfill that. And Cologne now still needs to fulfill that. That's what you see here. Let's also look at the time triggered. And here you don't see that directly here on the UI, because it's just still the whole task in the distribution center Frankfurt. It's still open. So what we have to do is to go into the order history. And here we see that the order was created. A routing has happened, again, with all the decision making, and it went to the store in Cologne. they never picked it in this setup time frame. So that led to another routing on the time trigger base. And then it was decided to put that into the distribution center in Frankfurt. Afterwards, I deactivated that rule, so it didn't reroute it again, because that could also happen if they wouldn't now act in the defined time frame. It would also be rerouted from Frankfurt again. So that could happen. So let's have a look at one of those other orders to see how the manual overwriting would work. So who is here? Let's see. Oh, that's great. I have the Hokkaido pumpkin ordered here from a store and food supply in Cologne. And now if we press this menu here, we see we have two options. First of all, we can reroute the order. This just means we trigger a reroute for that manually. So this would be given back to the routing system. All the rules apply again, and he will figure out another location besides food supply Cologne, because there it's coming from, that could fulfill that order, but based on the rule system. So this would be a manual trigger. What an employee, if it is allowed, also could do is to completely manual assign that order. So we could say like, we only have the Cologne food supply, but we could send it to another store. So say we want to send that to the store in Cologne. Because they have better information, because maybe this is a special store who handles like these special cases. Let's do a refresh here in terms of data. And then we will see, the order. But here a problem has occurred because there is no stock available in Cologne. So you see, this is a very powerful functionality. Let's have a look in this order. I've done this before for another video. So we see here the order was created. We had a routing happened to the store in Sydney, and then he will see here that's a difference. There was a manual assignment made. So somebody manually took it away from Sydney and put it into the store of Cologne. And therefore there's also no decision log, because there was no decision log. This was the brain of a person who clicked that and decided to do that. I hope this gives you a little bit of insight in the more advanced DOMS configurations, and I hope you liked it. After configuring all of those settings, you are prepared to serve the customer every time, even if issues arise in the process. As always, if you have any questions or remarks about our today's topic, don't hesitate to contact us directly. Of course, we are also available to discuss this or other topics together with you at a demo appointment to get into your specific needs. I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration, and I wish you a very happy day and hope to see you soon in a future video.